Hi, I'm Tom Hess, and I'm glad that you've come here to check out this video to learn more about guitar teacher training. The first thing I want to say is that you are in a very, very small group of guitar teachers in the whole world. Because frankly, if you go to Google and you do a check to see how many times somebody has typed in guitar teacher training, you'll find that the number is very, very tiny. So that tells me that a very, very tiny percentage of guitar teachers actually seek out, in a proactive way, training to help them get better at helping their students reach their goals and transforming the lives of their students. Frankly, there can only be two possibilities. Either all the other guitar teachers are just so amazingly great that they don't ever need any training, or they just don't care, or at least don't care enough as much as you do to improve their skills to a massively higher level. So to really be at peak performance of helping students reach their goals and also to build their teaching businesses to a much greater level. So I put you in a very special group just for the fact that you have an interest and you were proactive in seeking out some type of training, or at least seeking information about training. So the first thing that I want to say is, in order for any type of training as a guitar teacher to really be useful or effective, you first need to identify what are your current strengths and weaknesses as a guitar teacher. Now, even if you're a totally new guitar teacher and you haven't done that much teaching yet, you still are going to have some natural strengths and weaknesses in terms of your ability to either motivate other people or encourage them or inspire them, or the ways that you have to explain an abstract concept or take something, a multi-step process and break it down into its component parts. So even if you don't have any guitar teaching experience, you have some experience just with explaining things, inspiring people, etc. So what we need to do is to find out exactly where your strong and weak areas are and identify those, and then get some real training on how to improve those weaker areas. Now, in addition to getting training on your guitar teaching skills and helping your students reach goals, you probably also need some training on how to build your guitar teaching business. How to attract students. First, how to find potential students, then how to attract them, and then how to keep them and help them, transform their lives along the way. So there's a lot that goes into that. There's some specific marketing and self-promotion systems that I use and that other teachers who I mentor use. And these are some things that you're going to really want to know and be able to implement into your own guitar teaching business. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest for you to do is to come to my website and get some free online resources specifically for you. And I've got some self-assessments there which you can take at the site. And there's some important questions that, when you look at the questions, just by reading the questions, I think you're going to start getting some ideas right away about some things that you may be doing well, or some things that you're not doing so well, or other things you've never even thought of perhaps. Come take that free assessment. There's more than one. And then after you do, I will send you via email some very specific, very tangible, very relevant and useful and implementable ideas and resources for you to be able to achieve that goal in each one of those areas. This is going to be very powerful for you, because regardless of what type of training or mentoring or coaching or advice that you're ultimately going to seek out and get, you're going to need to begin with that sense of clarity first and knowing where to begin. What is the very first thing that you should do? What is the second thing that you should do? What should you focus on next? What things are going to be very easy for you to implement? What things are going to take a little longer to implement? How are you going to implement them? Who's going to help you? How are you going to be held accountable? All of these things are going to make a big difference in your effectiveness as a teacher, and also in your ability to make a lot of money, or just make an average amount of money. Now, I don't know about you, but I always think making a lot of money is better than making a little bit or average amounts of money. And if we can make a lot of money and at the same time help more people transform their lives, that's what the goal is. It's not just about making lots of money, or it's not only about teaching people and then worrying about how you're going to pay your bills the next month. Those two things need to come together and be integrated together with all the actions that you do, so that when you have a promotional effort or advertising for new students, or you start a new teaching methodology or strategy for your students, all those things can be congruent so that you're achieving both goals at the same time. And that is the core message that I teach to all the guitar teachers that I personally mentor, is to take a look at all the things that they're doing and saying, okay, this doesn't have a lot of leverage, this isn't really being optimized, this isn't really being maximized. Let's bring everything together so that when you take an action on this, it's growing all these things in all these different ways. Okay, I'm being a little bit abstract in this moment. Come to my website, check out those free resources, and it will become much, much more clear to you exactly what I'm talking about and how it's going to specifically be useful to you.